So check it out, folks. Right here live. Well, not live, but we're in studio live with all these people walking by. We're at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indiana. First time I've ever been to Indiana in my life. Big Hoosier fan, love basketball, so the movie Hoosiers comes into my head. And also my man Scott Jarrett, if you're watching, you're my brother from another mother. And you set the tone for me back in 2015. But with that, I got my man Chance Welton. What's up, Chance?
Hey, brother. Good to see you, man.
Founder of Abundance.io.
Yep.
And Chance, by the way, is the future of what entrepreneurs look like. You know, I think that...
Oh, come on.
Yeah, listen, I mean, when we spoke, you speak about abundance, not scarcity. You know, you speak about inclusiveness, not, isolated exclusion. And I think when we connected through David, right, I felt like the first call that we had was really cool. And it just kind of led to where we did a webinar on your show. And what an unbelievable community that he has. They feel his heart, his passion. And I wanted to thank you for that. Truly, it was an unbelievable opportunity for me.
Amazing. Yeah, thanks for having me here, man. I mean, just right out of the gate, we became really good friends. And we're both heart-centered on really, truly helping people because we both came from a pretty similar background and just knew that we wanted abundance in our life and for other people. And so, obviously, we're going to find each other and be good friends.
Yeah, and it's funny because when you think of abundance, I'll come across people and they'll say, why I'm doing an event in June where there's a bunch of inside insurance people at, like the forefathers in the insurance movement, guys that don't understand technology but have done the game at the beginning. And the guy that's bringing me in, who I love, he's like, be careful, don't give away all your trade secrets, right? Yeah. And the trade secret for us, I'll give it away right now, is we work with influencers who have communities that love them, and these influencers that want their communities to get financially educated. That's what we do. Now, I'm not going to give you the secret sauce, but high level, that's what it is. And Chance is a brand new relationship with us. I love it, dude. I'm so excited when whenever we talk about you, we get really pumped up. When we get into where you are now, which, by the way, $50 million award from ClickFunnels, one of 5 people to ever get that. Incredible. That's not a normal thing. It doesn't show up at the front door. Where did it all start for you? Where are you originally from? And tell me about the early years.
Yeah, I grew up in Idaho on a farm in Marsing, Idaho, near the Snake River. And we just knew how to work hard. Like, my dad instilled work ethic in us. And I consider that still to be my backbone that keeps, pushing me. And he was like, if you just outwork anybody in the room, you'll always be successful.
And you were told that at an early age?
At an early age.
Wow. So, you're here now, but you grew up on a farm, right? Work ethic, dad, a farm boy. How does that translate? Did you ever see something like this in your future when you tied it back to hard work?
No, I didn't. I grew up, and at the time, I was like a camp counselor, and I just really loved helping people, because there was a few people early on that I really looked up to. And they kind of changed the trajectory of my life just because they were great people. And they're always just giving, and just always showing up for people. And I just really respected that because I saw a lot of takers, growing up.
You knew the difference right away.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I thought, I want to be like that guy. Everybody likes that guy.
And the people that you're referring to, were they family? Were they part of the community?
They were just older guys in my community.
The neighborhood?
Yeah.
Yep. Do you still have a relationship with those guys?
I don't.
Okay.
No.
But you often reflect back to who they were and their impact.
Absolutely. And my dad was always the same way. I lost him in 2010.
Rest in peace.
Which catapulted my journey that we'll get into. But at his funeral, it was so packed, you couldn't even get into the church.
Yes.
People were lined up out the way, the church probably held 1,000. I mean, it was crazy. And I was talking to a woman there. She's like, I haven't seen your dad since the 3rd grade.
Wow.
He made me smile and made me feel like a loved person in the 3rd grade. That's why I'm here today.
That's incredible.
That blew my mind.
That's more important than money. That's more important than vacations and businesses. To hear something like that as a legacy, she hasn't seen him since 3rd grade, and being able to share that compliment, that must have felt unbelievable.
It was powerful. So that kind of I never forgot that.
Yeah.
So going forward, I thought, I want people to not even be able to get in the doors to my funeral. Yeah,
that's a great legacy, right? No doubt about it. You'd be able to kind of say how you had an impact on the world.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, from there, like I said, I was...
So did you go to college, and after high school, did you? No?
No, it never resonated with me.
Love it.
It never resonated with me.
College.
No college.
He did not cling to status quo.
It didn't resonate with me. The people that were trying to mentor me, I'm like, I don't want your life. No offense, it's good, good on you for doing what you want to do, but nothing ever clicked for me. I was like, that's not what I want. And so I think that's a really powerful lesson for people to learn. It's if you don't know what you want, then figure out what you don't want and then eliminate it from your life, and it'll keep pointing you a little bit closer and a little bit closer and a little bit closer. Sean interviewed me yesterday, and we went all the way back through it, and I remember retracing my past, and it was like, each of those little gifts or guidances from the universe, like I paid attention to instead of just ignoring it, and kept saying yes and yes and yes and yes to life, which, took courage, but it was something that I started doing early on that allowed me to get around the right people.
Was there any challenging yeses at a moment in time at an age like that where blind faith took over and you were rewarded by doing that?
Absolutely. So I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I moved to Maui on a one-way ticket. I had $300 in my name, didn't know anybody out there. I was 19.
Wow.
So I kept working dead-end jobs. I was like, man, I just got to get out of my hometown. I got to go see the world. And so moved to Hawaii, lived on the beach, eventually got a job as a dishwasher, and was living out of my little one-man tent on a beach and would hitchhike into town and wash dishes. And that was like blind faith. It's going to be okay, and just freaking went for it.
So during this time, were you like reading books? Were you like what were you doing to brain food to give you an edge and motivation on how to start structuring things?
I mean, really, I read the book Into the Wild, and the dude, they made a movie about it. I can't remember the actor's name at this point, but he cuts up his credit cards and burns his money and then just goes out hitchhiking. He's like, I'm just going to rely on great people to get to the next thing. And so I had that in the back of my head, which I don't recommend that for the average person out there. But
Teddy might go with that.
I had that same mentality because I went out there with $300 and thought, I'm going to figure it out. And so when you're in that place of you don't have anything, you have to learn how to communicate. You have to learn how to give to people and show up for people.
Definitely
so
show
that you
up.
can build relationship. Because I was like, I'm going to starve if I don't start meeting people out here, right? It was literally down to that. So it was a great lesson for me to learn just how to grow, and that just always kept showing up in my life.
But take me to that time. Were you lonely? Was there a sense of loneliness at any point, or were you just on a mission, burning the boat? Let me take over the island.
Exactly. I'm like, I literally can't have my mom come pick me up.
Yes.
Right. Like I'm on an island. Right.
Yeah.
So, I had my best friend Adam with me at the time.
That's cool.
So we're doing this thing together.
Yep.
And it was
so
just,
you weren't alone.
No.
Yeah. You had somebody.
We were just so inspired by travel and just the excitement of the world. We'd never seen anything like that before. Being in a beautiful place, eating organic food, learning about yoga, meditation. So it was a whole new world.
So did you dive deep into that stuff?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tell me more about that. Tell me what that was like.
Well, so my dad came out and visited me the last time I saw him in Hawaii, and then he went back home and he ended up taking his own life. He had mental illness that came out of bad diet, pharmaceuticals. And, back then there was a lot of stuff on the market that probably shouldn't have been. It could have been a medical malpractice and a whole deal, which we won't get into. But I became very passionate about natural health. And so that's why I was like, I don't want anybody else to experience that. I don't want to experience it. It's like our mind, we got one mind. We got to protect it. We got to take care of it. And so, building the company now, Abundance, I feel like it all really rooted from that of my experience with my father. And I didn't want people to have scarcity. He didn't have access to the resources for great health. He didn't have access to great counseling. He didn't have access to the finances that he needed. There's a lot of financial stress at that time in our life. So I knew that I didn't want that for my kids. And I wanted to help out as many people as I could. And it all really started there in Hawaii when I was like, man, my dad's gone at 49.
He was young.
He was super young. Yeah.
How old are you right now?
I'm 34.
Okay, you're young too.
Yeah, so that was in 2000. That was in 2010, and so at that point, I was like, life is short.
Yes.
Life is short, and you have to live every day to the fullest.
Yes.
And that means a lot of different things for a lot of different people. But for me, I was like, I'm not going to sleep in anymore.
Yep.
I'm not going to miss out on an opportunity to see somebody I love. I'm not going to miss out on an opportunity to meet with a client or meet with a student and
make it impactful too.
Absolutely.
Though. Yeah, have the energy and the passion for it.
Absolutely.
In the moments, even when you're tired.
Yep.
Right. And did you have did the yoga help you with that? Were you able to create mantras and systems on how to get yourself up?
Well, when I started eating organic food, I felt like I was on steroids.
Wow.
Because growing up in the Midwest, it was all. Well, yeah, and a lot of preservatives, and that was when the frozen food thing was really getting popular. Where, mom's like, I don't want to cook you more if I can throw in a frozen lasagna that has 8,000 ingredients. It's it's tomato and pasta. Why are there so many ingredients in this thing? It's getting out to why. We're picking avocados right off the freaking tree and just eating them raw. It was incredible. It was like candy to me,
Yeah.
And started learning meditation from a good friend of mine and learned about Kundalini yoga and a lot of this stuff that I would have judged and thought was super woo-woo and nuts, but started doing it and just getting lots of sun and swimming in the ocean. I just felt freaking alive, like really alive.
So what I find amazing, right? Because the journey is you go there with $300, you know, you're a dishwasher living on the beach, and now you're starting to get into a specific style of yoga. Your dad passes away. Well, that was the last time you seen him in Hawaii. At some point, that transitioned into a business model. Into you get married. You have married and kids, right?
Yeah, I have a son. Yeah, he's a year and a half.
Congratulations.
He's my little sweetheart.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, what's his name?
Dean.
Dean?
Yeah.
Okay, and your wife?
Erin.
Okay. How did you meet Erin?
I actually met her at a music festival
In
Boise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that like 2 years ago? Or was that 5, 7 years?
That was 4 years and some change.
Okay, so that's what. So we leave. So at some point you leave Hawaii with a game plan.
I leave Hawaii, and we actually did an around the world trip ticket. So I spent about $2,000, bought like 18 plane tickets with my best friend Adam.
Wow.
And then he was saving a bunch of money, and I wasn't.
Okay.
I was like, it'll be fine. I'll kind of pull the Hawaii thing again, and we get ready to leave, and he's got like $4,000 saved up, and I have like $700.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to go on this year-long trip to like 18 different countries.
Yes.
And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, it'll be fine. So we're on the trip, and about a week into New Zealand, I'm like out of money. And I was like, one night I'm sitting there with Adam. I was like, bro, we got to find a job. He's like, why? I was like,
Not we.
He's like, yeah, you. He's like, damn it, Chance, I knew you weren't saving money. And because he was like, he just wanted to go. I have this whole thing planned out. The reason why we went to New Zealand is because he was a big Lord of the Rings fan. And so that's why New Zealand was like on the map. And so I'm like, so we're at this hostel. It's like $8 a night. And we meet this guy named Jack. And he's going down to work at this lodge in New Zealand that's like a couple hour bus ride away. He's like, hey, they need more people to work. I said, Adam, you know, I don't want to hold you back, but I'm gonna go here. You can come or go do your thing, like whatever you want to do. It's like, no, bro, I'll go with you. So it's at this lodge. It's right at the base of Mount Doom. So Mount Doom is like the famous like volcano in New Zealand. So that was the place we wanted to go to anyways. So we started working at this lodge, and honestly, it was the best thing that ever happened to us because everybody's on gap year and they're coming from the UK and they're working that way around the planet to New Zealand. That's really their last stop, and they go back. Well, that was like really our first stop on the trip. So we started meeting everybody at the end of their trip. They're from Australia, the UK, Indonesia, like you name it. And it's at this lodge where all these backpackers are coming. So every day we're just meeting people from all over the world. And I'm learning about, these people are like making money online. This one guy was like...
That's when you first started learning the game?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
This guy was like flipping stuff on eBay.
Yeah.
And I was like, so someone's getting screwed here. You're just paying more for it.
Well, you create a platform. That's why you get a VIG.
And he was like, no. He's like, people, I buy a product, I know what it's worth, and I sell it in a different part of the country, and I make more money. And I was like, whoa, that's really interesting. Like, I never even thought about that. Because all I knew is like you show up and you work hard and, get your hands dirty.
Yep.
And I didn't know how to leverage or use the internet. I never even thought about it. And so I kept meeting these really interesting people, and I thought, wow, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not meant to go to school or go to a trade school. I'm just meant to travel right now and figure out what I don't want so I can get closer to what I do want.
Amazing.
And I was just an open book. I was a sponge. Anybody that was interesting, I was like, what do you do? Where are you from? How do you do it? What are you passionate about? What are your goals? Like, what's happening?
And you knew to ask those questions.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because I wasn't getting the answers that I wanted at home.
Yep.
But I also wasn't asking the right questions either. So as I got out on the road and just started listening to people and the ways of life and, different religions, different beliefs, different ideas, different politics, I was just like, I'm just here to learn.
And then you started modeling people, I assume.
Absolutely.
Model plus, right? And then obviously being able to surround yourself. I say, who's your top 5? So who you surround yourself with is going to help you elevate to where you want to go. And you can stand on the shoulders of other people.
Absolutely. If you want to see your future, look at your friends.
If you want to see your future, look at your friends. So check it out. 2020, you win this award, but something must have happened before that to get there.
Absolutely.
If we could kind of dig into that.
Yeah,
these folks.
I just kept traveling and then got back to LA. I had a massage therapy business at the time. I was trying to get leads. I didn't know how to do that. I saw massage envies popping up all over the place.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're doing that online thing that I kind of learned about, back when I was traveling. And so I went down a rabbit hole and just started learning about, organic traffic, how to rank websites. And so I started ranking Google Map listings and then renting them out to business owners. So I'd own the actual phone number. So I'd go set up 10 plumber GMB pages like in Los Angeles.
Wow.
And they'd all start ranking, and each one would generate 30 to 60 leads a month. And I'd just be like, for every phone number that you want to rent from me, it's $500 a month.
It's better than owning real estate.
Yeah. So it was online real estate.
Wow.
So I met my business partner Abdul at the time, and we just started scaling really quick. So that was the first time I really had experienced success after I failed multiple businesses before that. But I scaled it to over 10K a month in 90 days, was just all in, obsessed, cut everything out of my life that wasn't going to push me forward, stop going out, stop drinking, stop going to concerts. I was like, hey, I got to sacrifice my time now. Well, I got all this energy to build my empire, and went all in. And fast forward a couple years after that, a lot of people were, reaching out to us, wanted to learn what we were doing. We started coaching people.
How much did you charge the coach?
Well, when we first started, we were just helping people out.
Yeah.
I was probably in a community with 30 or 40 people that I was kind of coaching, get their social media agency up and rolling.
Wow.
And then we created a coaching program and a platform and built out softwares around it. And at the time, we were charging $4K to be a part of our community, and now we've gone up to bigger numbers, more support now.
Is there a number you want to share with the group?
Yeah, it's 5, 10, or 25K.
5, 10, or 25K to be part of the group where, you're standing on the shoulders of folks that have created some multiple businesses and online presence that can really help change the generational gap. By the way, if anyone's, how can they reach you? What's your best way to get in touch with you?
Chance_Welton on Instagram. And be careful, there's a lot of fake ones out there.
I got that problem too.
Yeah.
Gotta get the blue check.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
I'm working on it too.
Yeah, not the subscription one, the other one.
Yeah.
That's what I want to get. So, all right, so now you're killing it.
Yeah, so abundance.io, you can take the quiz there, and then it kind of goes through the process. So we're not everybody wants to run an agency. And I know that there's these other low barrier to entry business models where you don't have to create a product.
Yep.
You don't have to find a product market fit. And I said, how can we get on these platforms where we can get people to get success much faster? So we partnered with our friend Tom and did the same thing on...
Now, is Adam with you during this whole run? So Adam exited stage left at some point.
Yeah, so, we always climb mountains together.
Okay.
And so now he does it. He's one of the best guides for this, big guiding company.
So he's doing his
crushing
thing.
it. Yeah,
Yep.
I think he's in South America right now. And he went off and excelled in his life as well. And we're still the best of friends. We still hang out. He's the best man at my wedding. Awesome. And so I was like, not everybody wants to run an agency. Let's find out these other business models. So we did it with Amazon, Airbnb, Kindle. We have a 0% down real estate acquisition model. I was like, I want to be the person and the company that I wish I had when I was out traveling.
Yeah.
Where I could have helped someone like my dad.
Yes.
I could have helped other people that I've seen struggle in this world, whether it's mentally, physically, relationship-wise, or finances. And so we just kept doing that. Now we have 6 partners. So we have a lot of different verticals to help people get started, and very low barrier to entry. So you can run a real estate business on Airbnb without owning real estate, and our students are freaking crushing it.
You could run... Say that again?
You can run a real estate business on Airbnb without owning any real estate.
You could run a real estate business on Airbnb Airbnb and not own the real estate.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So people always want to get into real estate, I don't got 20% down,
Yes.
I don't have the funds,
Yes.
I don't know the market. Well, all you got to do is find a house that's not on Airbnb, that's been for rent for 45 days.
Yep.
They're losing money. You bring them onto Airbnb, get the photo shot right. We show people how to optimize the platform.
So that you give them a piece of that.
Absolutely.
For bringing it to you.
So the way that it works is that house, he's probably going to be getting $1,500 a month if it was a long-term rental.
Yep.
Well, on Airbnb, he can be making more like 4 or 5K. And so then the student that actually brought that house on, they would just be making that extra 2K on top, but he's still making more on the rental than he would for long-term anyways.
And really, it's people looking for houses that are not on Airbnb.
Yeah.
Does anyone else do that besides you? That's amazing.
No, it's called co-hosting. It's something that we created.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I've never even thought of that. Incredible.
So, our partners, Sean and Ari, are just... They're managing $100 million worth of real estate and own 0 properties.
What?
Yeah.
Just by doing what you just said?
Absolutely.
So
I said, we got to take that to the world, boys. We got to create a product and go help people. So now there's 1,800 students in that platform now. And
you have multiple platforms.
Yeah.
How many students in total?
25,000.
25,000 students in multiple platforms, folks. And he went to Hawaii with $300 in his pocket in 2000. What year?
Shoot, that was 2009.
2009. and went on a journey of discovery of what not to do, and it led him to get to where he is. And by the way, when you learn what not to do, you think of things like, owning real estate without owning the real estate by bringing Airbnb real estate properties that aren't on Airbnb into Airbnb, and you create a model around it.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I teach be a middleman or the middle woman. There is money happening, billions of dollars online every single day. You just got to get in the flow of money. Don't go out and try to create something your first time. It's now we're doing more creative stuff in our investments, but in the beginning, it's
no, just keep it simple.
Keep it real simple. Yeah, keep it stupid simple.
Even when Jobs came back into Apple, he took 100 products and brought it down to 4.
Yes.
And that's when the run started again.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you, now the stuff that you're describing to me, when did you get this ClickFunnels? I know it was in 2020. Are we at that point yet in this story?
That was when we really started bringing our brands together and scaling. We did it with two brands at the time, and now we have 5.
So in your whole world, is it a lot of ClickFunnels? Is it go to this page, go to that page? Stuff I'm not really good at, as you know. So
it was all through ClickFunnels. We had different funnels, but it's all through ClickFunnels.
So when you win an award like that, are you in their inner circle? Are you part of a mastermind? Do you have access to information that others don't yet?
It's really just bragging rights.
Is it really? It's a good thing to brag about.
No, it's oh, hey, we got this one, and you do too. Let's go. Let's go talk. No, it brings the community together, and I love what Russell's done. He has created a super culture, unbelievable, undeniable. If you're in the ClickFunnels crew,
family.
Yeah, your family for life. Yeah. It's so incredible what he's done for entrepreneurs. Is giving them a stage to feel like a champion.
It's amazing.
Because we see pro athletes, we see doctors getting accolades, we see attorneys getting their awards, and for entrepreneurs, it was just kind of it's kind of a lonely space. And I love what David Meltzer's doing. I love what you're doing, creating a platform where we can all come together, share insights, build each other up, build each other up on social media. And I love what's happening in our industry. It's we know that if I can't help someone, maybe you can, that's on my list. Let's help each other. And that's why our partnership came together, because you know a lot of things I don't.
Yes.
And so it was, there's a lot of synergy there. And again, going back to abundance mindset,
love it.
Getting out of scarcity, there's plenty of food for everybody to eat. There's plenty of things.
You say a lot of powerful things when you talk about abundant mindset versus a scarce mindset. There he is, everybody. Come on
there
in.
There he is. The man, the myth, Coach? The legend.
Love you.
Say hi.
How
Love
you
you, brother.
Unbelievable. Appreciate it. Unreal.
David Meltzer, speaking of.
David Meltzer, live, folks.
Live, in action, in your face.
So ready? Here's my question.
Yeah.
Where does it look like for you in the next 5 years?
It's a great question. So the plan is to continue to partner with business experts that have created 7 figures on these low barrier to entry business models. And as we evolve in AI and tech and all these other, business ideas are going to keep coming up.
Yeah.
And so our goal is to continue to build that. We're on a mission to build $1 billion company.
And how do you stay ahead of being really good at anticipating, but how do you stay ahead of not just kind of clinging to status quo and getting comfortable?
It's, there's no gray area with success. As soon as you let off the gas, you're already going in the opposite direction.
Excellent point.
So
excellent point.
We know and that's when we decided with our leadership team, it's okay, we got to be focused. Here's people moving forward. Here's people dealing with fulfillment. Here's people doing product development. So, we started mimicking some of the, most successful tech companies of all time. It's you have these departments that are always moving you forward, so that, yes, we're testing things and getting better, but we're also still keeping the business going and moving forward as well.
Yeah, with the core business.
Absolutely.
Got it. Love it.
Yeah.
And that's phenomenal, by the way, because a lot of people don't do that. I love that you're even talking about that. Last, and I know we talked about one of your legacies would be what the funeral home looks like when you shuffle off this mortal coil. I don't like to say the word die. So when it's all said and done, right, what do you want? And there's going to be a lot of digital versions of you out there. What do you want the message to be about who you are?
Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Change the world.
Yeah, in that order.
In that order.
Yeah.
Because if you're not taking care of yourself and your family, you can't go out there and have true impact.
Yeah. Love
because people say, money's evil, this, that, and the other. Money is just resource and an energy, and the more of it you have, the more people you can change. And the vision that I have with our nonprofit in Uganda, we already house 40 children. They get education, fresh water, food. These kids were dying on the street a couple years ago, literally abandoned.
Nonprofit in Uganda, they've changed lives of 40 people. Is that what you said?
40 children.
That's incredible. Point. Thank you for that. Amazing. Love that.
And, if I wouldn't have gone out there and pushed the boundaries and moved through my fear to build what I've built, these kids wouldn't have a home.
Yeah.
And that's what that's become about, bigger part about my why, especially as a father, seeing these children suffer. It just freaking breaks my heart.
Yeah.
So when I can empower, now we've had, I think, 4 or 5 students that have gone out and started their own nonprofits to help with orphanages throughout the world.
Yeah.
And so we teach like 3 stages of wealth, 4 stages of impact.
Wow.
So create one stream of income on, let's say, Airbnb, create the other one on Amazon, systematize those, start stashing away that wealth, invest in the right way through some of our syndicate partners, and then go out there and have impact. Like, build a team so you can go out there and do what you're passionate about and change lives.
Amazing. Guys, listen, if you like what you heard, please go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe, of course. Go ahead, and if you have any comments, write some comments below. I would take this and rewind it back. There was nugget after nugget after nugget that could help put money in your pocket where it belongs. But the truth is, it starts with your heart, not your head. And if you get in your heart first, eventually the head will create the systems and the processes where you can replace yourself and move on to do all the other things. And one last time for Chance, let them know how they can get in touch with you, brother.
Yeah, so it's Chance_Welton on Instagram. I got about 42,000 followers now, so make sure you go to that one. I don't have the blue check, but there's a lot of other phonies out there. And also go to abundance.io, take the quiz, and figure out what type of entrepreneur you are. You'll be either a socializer, a coach, a founder, or an engineer, and then based on that, you speak with an advisor so we can put you in the right business model to make sure you have the highest chance of success.
Abundance.io.
Abundance.io.
And that's where you can take the quiz.
Yep.
Right? Anyway, so folks, thanks for checking us out. Go ahead, click the link, and give us any comments and then some other videos that you want. Thanks for checking me out. Talk to you soon.
Love to see you, Rob.
Appreciate it, brother. That was awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me out.
Thank you so much.
We got to get you on the Abundance podcast.
I'm ready.
We got to get you out to California.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.